If you are looking to get yourself a mini DV camcorder, but you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, or you're just starting out in the retro camcorder world and you just want to dip your toes in a little bit, then you might want to check out this camcorder by JVC. So let's check it out and see if it's the right fit for your first mini DV camcorder. It's a new era. Yes, I got new glasses. Funny fact, the black ones that I've been wearing for a long time now, I bought those. Turns out I didn't even know they were Ray-Bans until I got the glasses. So yeah, I just needed a new prescription and kind of got sick of the look of those. So we got some 70s looking glasses. Maybe it's a little bit more fitting for this here channel. No, I just look good in these glasses because I got a fat head and I need something a little bit bigger than my Ray-Bans. Hello there and welcome back to my camera collection. If you're new around here, we like to check out old school retro camcorders from the 80s, 90s, and early to mid 2000s. So if you're into that kind of thing, maybe consider subscribing. So today we'll be taking a look at the JVC GR-DVL817. That is a long name. Or you could just call it the JVC GR-DVL817. I'll tell you where this camera came from. We'll talk about some of the specs inside of this camcorder and maybe some on the outside of the camcorder. We'll look at the physical features on it. I'll give you some opinions on it. And at the end of the video, we will check out some of the test footage that comes out of this camcorder. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. This camera is from the year 2000. It's a good old Y2K camcorder and it records to mini DV tapes. I got this camcorder from Discord, technically. I have a friend on there, his name's Conrack, that's his Discord name. And if you've been following this channel for a while, I kind of talked a little bit about, I traded a Sony PD-170 for a Sony TRV-120. It's a digital 8 camcorder. I'll have a card up above if you want to check out the review on that. He also included this little camera as well. I've been meaning to get to reviewing this camcorder. It's just I've had a lot on my plate with camera stuff as of lately. I apologize, Conrack, if you have been eagerly awaiting me to check this camcorder out. But here we are today. So that's where this little camcorder came from. So thanks, Conrack. So let's go over some of the specs on this camcorder, shall we? Now, the specs that I am listing off, I found on JVC's website. You can go to support.jvc.com and that's where I found specs for this camcorder. But you can go and look at a lot of their camcorders on there from the past. They kind of have like a little museum section, I guess, of their old cameras and stuff. So you can go on there and check out the specs on a camera. Generally, if you get a JVC camcorder, they'll usually have it on their website. But this camera does have a 1/4 inch CCD sensor in it, which creates 680,000 pixels. Now this one I found interesting. It does have a 3-inch LCD screen. It's not a 3.5, it's a 3-inch. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The 3-inch LCD screen does create 110,000 pixels. The lens on the front is a f1.8 lens. And it does have a colored viewfinder. Surprising, actually. Seems like a lot of mini DV camcorders from the early 2000s still had black and white viewfinders, but unfortunately this viewfinder is technically broken. You can see underneath the ribbon cable for it is completely cut in half. It does have a built-in light down here and it does have an auto mode, so the camera recognizes that you're in a low light situation, the light will automatically turn on. A lot of camcorders with lights built into them do have that feature, but it is nice that it is on there. Now it is compatible with multimedia cards or SD cards. It also has a 10 times optical zoom, which is a little low, but shouldn't be too bad. But it does have a 400 times digital zoom. It's a little high, but obviously you don't have to use all of that. But the option is there if you want to make your footage look extremely pixelated. It's also got 12 digital effects and scene transitions, along with iris lock. And you could also adjust the white balance manually, the exposure manually, manual focus, and all the manual functions that you would need in a prosumer style camcorder. But yeah, it has you know, pretty much all the manual functions that you need. Now the shutter speed is what is kind of leaving me scratching my head. So the minimum shutter speed is 1 in 60, which makes sense, but the maximum shutter speed is 1 in 500. So that's super low on the maximum shutter speed on it. That's what I could find on the JVC website. So I don't know if that's in auto mode or if that is in manual mode. And those are most of the specs that I could find on their website. Since we've talked about some of the specs on it, let's go around and check out the physical features on it. As always, let's start at the front here. You do get a 37mm lens thread diameter. So if you do want to run a Optica fisheye or a Relic fisheye, and you have a 37mm fisheye, you can throw it on here and film some fun skate videos if you want, or even just film some wacky fun montage videos, or even retro music videos if you wanted to. Fisheyes are extremely fun to film with, and if you want one and you have one of these camcorders or one similar to it and you want a 37mm fisheye, I'll leave a link to a Relic fisheye down in the description. But you do get your built-in light here on the front, as we talked about in the specs, and your stereo microphone on here as well. Kind of an interesting microphone that the left side is clear over here on the left and the right is clear over here on the right. They are kind of directional, I guess, so it almost looks like it goes this way and then it's on the side as well. So I don't really know exactly what direction the microphone actually picks up audio from. It's just, it looks kind of funky in my opinion. But on the outside of the screen, I mean, the whole left side of the body is the screen. So there's not really any buttons out here, but you do get your button to open up the screen. But when you turn it on, it's kind of cool because this little, I don't know, display right here actually lights up and it says digital still camera DSC. So I don't know, it's kind of cool that it lights up blue. Yeah, you can take the little switch button here and you can actually pop the screen open just like most camcorders. And there you go, you get your 3-inch LCD screen there. But on the inside of the camera, or I guess the body side of the camera, you still don't get much in there. You get a playback speaker, and you get video or DSC, so you can switch between video mode or picture mode with this little blue switch here. Along with that, you can turn the light off, auto mode, or on, and it works. And it's kind of a weird orange color. Along with that, you get your Firewire in port, or I guess it's an in and out port. So you can run video to this or from this camcorder. Other than that, you do get a DC in little plug-in here, which is kind of like the laptop style ones that's just round that it plugs in. On the back of the camera, well, you got your viewfinder and it rotates 90 degrees, I would say. On the bottom of the viewfinder, you get your focus switch so you can adjust it for your eyesight. Like I said, this viewfinder doesn't work because the ribbon cable is broken or torn. On the right side of the viewfinder here, you do get the battery release switch. So you can lift the viewfinder up, pull that, and the battery slides up and out. Just go the opposite direction with it. If you want to put it in, start at the top and slide it down until it clicks, and you're ready to rock and roll. You get your power switch / record button as well. You have a couple different modes here, so you can obviously have it off, or you can switch it to A or M. So A is auto mode and M is manual mode. Could you figure that out on your own? Probably. And then if you switch it all the way to the left, it goes to play or playback. So you can watch your videos back or capture your footage if you need to. Your little compartment door here. Wow, that came right off, didn't it? You get all of your plug-in functions here. So you do get S-Video. You do get a USB, I want to say that's USB 2.0. So you can actually transfer your photos digitally from the camcorder to your laptop. You have a edit insert here. So I want to say that the edit insert, if anybody has ever used a JVC VHS-C camcorder, and you'll see the little JLIP plug-in there. So JLIP was JVC's version of LANC, or a wired remote, but this one is a 3.5mm jack instead of a 2.5mm, so it's really like a wired remote plug-in. And then just below it you have your AV out, or your audio video out, and that is your 3.5mm jack as well. So if you want to use that, you have to use the 3-to-1 kind of style cable. So the one side, or the headphone jack side, would go into this side, and then you'd have the yellow, white, and red plug-in go into wherever else you want to plug it into, like a video recorder or something like that, like a ClearClick video to digital 2.0 or 3.0, something like that. Yeah, that's what you would use to plug into that, or S-Video. You have this little, I don't know, black section here. I mean, obviously there's a lot of black along the side of the camera, but it looks different, okay? And that's your infrared receiver. So if you have a remote that goes with this, you can, that's what will detect your infrared remote. Up on top, you have a bunch of other button functions here. So the playback functions actually act as some different functions as well. Obviously, you do get rewind, play, pause, fast forward, and stop. But the rewind button, if you're in record mode, is backlight. Your play button is your P.AE, or it's your like your AE program, so you can go into like all the digital effects and stuff like that. You have exposure, where your fast forward button would be, or is, I guess. That's to turn on the manual exposure on or off. And then you have night alive. So it does have like a night shot system in it. So obviously JVC couldn't call it night shot, so they called it night alive. So that's where your stop button is. So you got this little wheel right here, right behind, or I guess in front of the viewfinder, and that is your menu / bright button, or wheel. So if you push it in like a button, it goes into the menu, and if you just scroll with it like a wheel, you can actually adjust the brightness of the LCD screen. And then that's also how you get around in the menu and all that kind of stuff. You have a snapshot button just in front of that menu scroll wheel button. So that's like your picture button. And then your rocker zoom. So this is a very, it's a very JVC feeling rocker zoom in my opinion. It's just, a lot of their VHS-C camcorders have had a very similar rocker zoom. And it's smaller than a lot of other ones that I've seen, but at least it's not that real tiny, almost tic-tac size rocker zoom that I hate. It's got a good range on it, so you can get nice, steady, smooth zoom in and zoom outs if you need to. You have a little button here on the side here, and that is your focus, so you can turn the manual focus on or off, or have it in autofocus or manual focus. And then it's also, I think in playback, it says blank search / jump. So blank spots on the tape. If you don't have any footage on certain parts of the tape, it'll jump ahead or fast forward ahead or rewind. It'll get to the next portion of the video. I guess it's like an edit search. One thing I forgot to mention though is the tape eject is here on the bottom of the camcorder, and it opens up like so. And boy, do I gotta say, this tape deck is pretty loud. I don't know if that's just how JVC mini DV camcorders sound, but it doesn't sound like it's very good quality, I guess. It's just, it has a lot of noise, and you can hear a lot of clanking and clunking around and stuff. So I don't know if this camera's just been beat up over its lifetime, or if it just sounds like that. But yeah, that's all the physical features of it. You got some stuff here and there in the menu that you can go and check out. But I'll give you a couple opinions on it. And usually when I say opinions, I kind of mean gripes, I guess, if you will. Just generally things that I just don't really care for. But if there's one thing on there that I find unique or very useful, then I'll usually mention that. But my first thing, at least with going out and recording out at the skate park with it, is the LCD screen. Obviously you can adjust the brightness on the LCD screen, but it just seems like as soon as sunlight hits it, the screen just goes black. You can't see anything on the screen. To me, I don't think this screen is very good. So in certain situations, it would be great to have the viewfinder work. This is a unique circumstance, obviously, with the viewfinder not working, but in my case, I can't use the viewfinder, so I have to just rely on the LCD screen to square up my shots. And if the sun's shining right on it, you can't see anything, so you definitely got to shade it and try to see what you're doing before you push record. The other thing is, I don't know, JVC mini DV camcorders, they're the ones that I seem to find have the most issues. They always seem to be in safeguard mode, and there's always some kind of error code that comes with it. So whether it's some kind of dew damage or something like that, maybe it's, I don't know, condensation or something gets on the tape heads or something and it just won't work. Or there's just mechanical issues with the tape deck that it won't play the tape, it won't eject the tape, it won't retract the tape. There's something, and that just, I mean, when I eject the tape, you can just hear how clanky and clunky it just sounds when it's moving up and down. So it's just, I don't know, they're not built very good. I don't think JVC built these to really last very long. I mean, you look at a lot of Panasonic and Sony camcorders, and there's a lot of those that are still working completely fine these days. Canon, yeah, there's quite a few Canons out there, but I've found a lot of Canons that don't work as well. But JVC, I have really bad luck finding mini DV camcorders from JVC that work properly or don't have some form of a safeguard mode error code. If you're gonna get one of these or any form of a JVC mini DV camcorder, just make sure that it's not throwing a, safeguard mode error code. Now, it is cool that it has the night alive, but in my opinion, I don't think it does very well with low light, especially because it only goes up to 1 in 500 shutter speed. So maybe that might be the reason why they added the night vision on the camcorder, is because the low light capability on this camcorder is just terrible. But yeah, I don't really have much other complaints about this camcorder other than that. But yeah, if you'd like to buy this camcorder for yourself, I'll have it linked up on my eBay store. If you'd like to purchase it for yourself, it'll come with the camera, 2 batteries. I'll include a used tape with it. And if you have one of these camcorders for yourself, or if you have one that is similar to this, I will leave links to batteries, chargers, tapes, fisheyes, like I said before, video converters to get you started. If you have one maybe laying around, you don't really know how to digitize the footage, I'll leave a few of those converters in the description, and you can get yourself started on going down the rabbit hole that I've gone down. You will be supporting the channel if you do shop through those links and buy anything through those links. And another way you can support my channel is by buying my camcorders from my eBay store. As of recording this video, this is for sale. So let me know what you think of this camcorder. Would you buy it for yourself? Do you have one for yourself? If you have one for yourself, let me know what you think of this camcorder. Let's check out some of the test footage that comes out of this camcorder, shall we? If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe, because we talk about old school retro camcorders almost on a weekly basis. And on that note, we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.